What's going on, sales mercs? What's going on? Tacticalities. Welcome to Unbreakable Secrets, man. Look, this is the week before one of the biggest sales in the country, Memorial Day sales. People do a lot of stuff. A lot of people that are already clocking off because they know next week we have 3 days off, 4 day off weekend. People are already been planning, for, whatever the case might be, you know, recreation. Oh man, I'm gonna have 3 days off peace. But you know what? Tuesday, if you actually have a tracking your activity, you're like, oh, you probably spend time with people you don't even like, which most people do. You haven't produced anything that has to put you into with the next level to the next level. That's why we have this big project until the end of the year. I have the big project for the end of the year. Finally, I'm building my media company. I have my own company, just building slowly. But you know what? I'm gonna push to the next level, right? So I'm gonna even push even harder. So I'm like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, real estate will be a good idea. What? You're always gonna belong to another broker, another set of rules. What can you post? The type of content you have to post. You have to dress to certain things, and you got to do certain things because the real estate commission and this and that. So you know what? I'm gonna build my own media company, right? So all blank T-shirts, no logos. I'm gonna get rid of all the shirts with logos and hats with logos. I am promoting nobody without a price. You walk around with all these brands, and I was like, we went to get some shirts. It was nice shirts, but it's like I'm promoting other people's. They ain't paying me. I was like, not today. Since I'm training for my ultra, I gotta. It's literally about 85 degrees today, right? A lot of people are on the pool. I just came back from the gym. People are laying down the pool. Having coffee delivered, food delivered. Apparently, there's a party and there's so it's packed. We already went to. My wife wanted to go to the pool for a little bit. Get some sun. There's nobody at the pool. 9 a.m. We're done. What, an hour, 45 minutes? Just a little bit of but okay, let's go. So my wife, she got to do some stuff with the house. I'm like, okay, so I got to do some stuff. I'm going to walk around, but I'm training, man. I'm always training, because I'm going to do this ultras, right? So if I don't train at an 85 degree weather, if I'm going to this place, it's going to be cold or it's going to be hot. You got to be training at any environment. If it's cold, rainy, windy, 90 degrees, 100% humidity, you gotta get it done, man. But so this weekend, what are you going to do? What is taking you to the next level? We're competing for the same stuff. Before social media, you thought you were competing with your neighbor, with your own company. No, you're competing with the whole world, man. You competed with a bunch of people that they're hungry as well, just as we do. That they are, on the weekends, they're working out. They're making their next move. They're planning. They're executing. So I'm doing the same thing, man. We've been planning. We've been working. We've been putting some stuff together. I'm gonna learn how to code. So I'm just getting some stuff done. Some cloud coding, vibe coding, and putting some logos together and putting some strategies together and executing, man. Executing, man. And that's it. So we're like, well, nope. Got some wax for the truck. I didn't know that was pretty close. I could have walked because I like to walk. Put in the miles and exercising. And I'm gonna go get some wax in the car, and we're just gonna do that. By the way, it's pretty hot. It's pretty hot. My phone is getting hot too, as you can tell. I can tell because I can even feel. But it's good. It is good because in these times, especially right now, we're in the biggest transfer of wealth in the history of the world, man. The biggest transfer of wealth. We have the technology, the most advanced technology that ever been. 250 years ago, if you go back in history, 250 years ago, they were considering you a heretic if you were thinking about with the planes and the sky and be able to communicate to each other with a bloody device and the waves and radio and TV and man. 250 years ago, we're still hunting for food, man. Now you can just go to the grocery store, order in a bloody app. They'll take you. They can anything you want. They can be out. They can even deliver alcohol. I mean, I've been 5 years sober, so I don't care. So you gotta be prepared, man. You ought to be prepared. So if this weekend, most people they like to do a quick how they call a distraction, right? There's a term for that because you're distracted, you're using that as a distraction. So instead of actually putting yourself to work, you're browsing, seeing other people win instead of creating your own stuff. That's why I don't browse other people. I study other people, right? I study, but I create my own content. I don't spend hours browsing on TikTok and this. No, I'm looking at it. I'm like, I came here to win, man. So we're executing, right? So this Memorial Day weekend, most people are taking their vacation and they're like off like Thursday, Friday. I know a lot of people that they take usually like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Monday, and they all the way to Tuesday, right? They like to just go out there and I go to the beach. But they're still in the same position that they were in 4 years ago. Well, what they don't know is we're so up ahead of a lot of people, but we're not doing for them. I'm doing for myself. I'm doing for us. We're so, we're so excited, right? But, they're paying the price of guess what? Tomorrow I got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning, go to the gym and do it all the way to the end of the year. So I have, when the summer people go to the beach, because my daughters are coming, so I'm just going to go to the beach one day with them. They're going to get in the house and we're going to spend some time a little bit, but I'm going to be still working. So from 9 to 6, everybody's out of the house. And after that, they spend out a little bit. And after that, adios. They go and live their lives and, I'm just getting started, right? 50 plus years of age. I've been 5 years sober and I don't have time to waste. I don't have time to waste. I drove my car today and I was like, if there's no viable reason for you to go out there this week or the next week, like, okay, so what are you doing? Oh, well, I got to go to, my daughter has a baseball game or whatever, that's fine, right? You're taking care of others. But if you are like empty nester, or if you have kids that are not playing any sports and you're not doing like anything, it's like, okay, guys, either you teach them a new skill set or you're going to, to camping or you're spending the time with your children or with your wife. But by the time Tuesday comes, you're already energized, right? So I like to spend, if I'm going to have a day off or some sort of like like rest day, I already put the work in the morning. So I have the rest of the afternoon off. So right now, as I have the the rest of the afternoon off is 1 o'clock. I already put 3-4 miles walk in 85-degree weather. I went to the gym, right? So I'm gonna go very early today. So I'm just like early bird, boom, 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm putting all the work until I work all the way to Saturday. I might work an hour or two on Saturday. So we're gonna do some work on Sunday morning. So I have the only literally afternoon off is Sunday afternoon and Monday afternoon and Memorial Day, which is a Monday. By the time Tuesday of next week comes, I already rested. I don't have to, oh my God, because guess what? People are gonna be on the roads. They're gonna be all unrested. They didn't have I remember my ex-wife. She's a teacher, right? So she retired already, and I was working, and they went on vacation, right? So they went on vacation to Disney World or whatever, all these parks. And she called me one day so they came from vacation, but they got sick while they were on vacation, right? And I was like, okay, I feel sick. I said, no, you figure that out. You guys, I'm not even married to you, and you want me to watch the kid? No, you watch the kid. You're sick, but that's your problem. You guys were on vacation. I was working when you guys were on vacation. Of course, hey, that's your problem. Most people are going to waste your time in any day possible, any hour of the day. Either it is a distraction to social media, either it's something that it doesn't have to do with your future, fellas. This week, you gotta eliminate fucking everyone that is not on sync is adios, cut. That's what we moved to the Carolinas, man. We moved to another state, and guess what? We're starting a new life, new connections, but new connections under my disposal. I decide who comes into my life, and dude, I've been cutting people like left and right, even family, friends. And I was like, I don't even answer the phone. Quite honestly, I don't even answer the phone. I don't even answer emails that I don't know. I've been deleting emails. Boom, deleted emails. If I don't know if nobody leaves me a message, I don't even check. I'm creating an app that everything goes to my inbox, right? And AI is gonna be my AI. I'm gonna create an AI assistant that only the truly important, based on the voice recognition software, they're gonna tell me, oh, Mr. Roberto, this is one you should read this. This is important. This requires your attention within the next day or 2 or 3 days. Okay, so depending of that, I check the email. But other than that, dude, I'm mechanizing everything, so I've been doing that even without AI, without automatic assistance. I'm doing my own platform that I'm being like, and if I'm in, I don't know, Hawaii or Dubai or Fiji or I don't know where I want to wake up one day, right? I don't have to worry about absolutely nothing. Nobody knows where am I. I don't wear any brands. I'm blending. I'm blending, right? I was reading earlier this morning, is that if you ever be a billion, what will you do? There's things that you wouldn't do. Number one, you don't tell anybody. Absolutely, you don't tell nobody. You're like, you might as well change your name, right? I'll be like Jose or whatever. I'm like, because people are a bunch of, we're like a termites. We want to destroy everything, right? We're not going to create it. That's why you got to be able to have your circle so well established that just imagine that you were like, I don't know, the kings back in the, 16th century. They're like, they had to have their close niche and close allies, and they have, spies everywhere, and they have to be able to protect themselves because they have, 20 billion people that are trying to take that kingdom, right? The same thing with us. You might not have a kingdom, but just think about as you actually have a kingdom, and there's 20 million people try to take you that kingdom. Either your daughter asking you for $5 for lunch money, or your wife need this, or your cousin wants this, and you have a wedding plan, so you don't have nothing. You can't. It's like I don't have any events planning this year. My stepdaughters are gonna get married. They haven't even put their schedule, so I was like, no schedule. I don't care who's getting married. I gotta be able to have time, baby. Oh, I'm excited. Yes, babies. That's right. This one is getting. I'm gonna be able to, because this one, something when it's too hot, kind of shuts up. It goes in idle because it's too damn hot. I can't even see the screen. Even how it is, I can't even see my screen. I'm just here rambling. But yeah, I'm here like yapping. But you know what? It's yapping with content. By the way, subscribe to the channel. Man. But it's a great content, man. It's a great content. Yeah, because I'm telling you, brothers, you guys gotta go to the next level. I don't care what you do. I don't care if you gotta get up 2 hours before your shift. That's what I'm doing tomorrow. I'm waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. If I get up at 3, I'm start working to 3, man. All this week, I'm just like push till the end of the year, because that is gonna thrust me. Man, it's gonna put me ahead. 6 months of what I've been doing already put me ahead 10 years. For me, for the next 6 months, it's gonna even put me ahead another 15 years. This is how powerful time it is. This is how powerful time and execution is. Time and execution, right? For every customer, I just fire my tax attorney, freaking dumbass, and the guy that I purchased my vehicle, fired. These two people lost at a long period of time $10 million. And you're like, oh, what do you mean? Right? Because let's see, if I assume for a moment that my company quadruples, so I don't know, you know, guess what? He already lost a customer that he could make thousands of dollars. Because he was an idiot, he's fired. The guy that I purchased the car, the same thing. So you know what? You gotta be so fucking psychopath with your money that now they're gonna need to be begging you to have your money. Like, no, if I'm gonna, no, then guess what? That's why you gotta disappear for 6 months to a year. I might actually show the social media and I don't even post nothing until next year. So take the advantage that I'm giving you this content, because I might not be available, and within the next 6 to 8 months, and I done it. I shut up the news for almost 3 months, 4 months. I did nothing about news. The only thing I knew is that the government. I was like, well, the government is busy. It's been shut down for 3 months. I'm like, oh, really? What happened now? Because I don't check the news. I don't check the news. I don't. I was like, there's a plane that fell. I used to live in Northeast, in the city that I used to live. Oh no, in a small airplane flying, falling to. I don't know. I mean, I'm not in the Northeast. I'm in the South. I don't care, man. It was like, why do you tell me all this thing? I'll tell my wife. You just don't tell me nothing. I don't want to know what other people are doing. The only thing I'm more important is my daily activity, in my fitness app. I believe in my fitness app. Numbers are the numbers. My fitness app tells me how many miles in my Nike app, right? Tells me how many miles I run, how many miles I walk, for how long. And if I miss a day, the app, which I haven't missed a day, I don't know when, they're like, you have a low day yesterday. What's going on? You were doubling your, and they're like, oh shit, I gotta go back, right? I like my numbers. Numbers are the numbers. Numbers are never lie. Oh my God, well, and remember, go help somebody that can never pay you. Subscribe to the channel. And remember, when you do things over and over and over again, expecting different results, that's definition of insanity. But if you do put your time, if you do things to practice over and over again, you'll master something. Either you go to the next level, master your craft, then believe me, you do over again, and you practice, then you practice your craft, you go to the gym 6 months in a row, believe me, your results are going to be phenomenal. But now people keep injecting all these pills and injecting all these things. Have these people read those side effects of those pills and all the things that people are taking? I'm telling you, cells. Anyway, that's your problem. The thing I believe is get your water intake. And by the way, I bet I'm going. Let me tell you, I'm buying this copper water jug, because copper. There used to be copper pipes in the houses. I bet you didn't know why there were copper pipes in your household. The copper pipes, what they do to the water, they purify the water at a capacity. It is fucking incredible, right? So remember, food intake. You gotta be a fucking psychopath in what you eat and what you put your mind into it, what you think about it. That's every day. I don't think just positive, encouraging. All the things that is so positive. My world is so positive that I'm not allowed to myself to become civilized, to become like, that I complain. Nah, fuck that. I don't allow nothing. I went to the gym. Tomorrow I waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and we getting this shit done, man. We getting it done. Shit. My wife texts me like, "You good?" It's like giving the thumbs. What if I didn't? If it's like 10 o'clock at night and I don't show up to work, there's probably something, right? It's like, think, man. Don't think. Think, motherfuckers. Think. Jesus. Lord. Think. Oh, shit, yeah. If you don't think, you'll want someone to think for you. All right, guys. I got to get going. Go help somebody that can never pay you. Execute. And you are in charge of your own results. Subscribe to the channel. Talk to you later.